Alright, so I am going to read the activator. I would like you to, after you are done listening and reading along with me to complete the activator, I want you to pause it before you actually check the work. So be honest with yourself. It's only going to help you because we will have an exit card on being able to graph and solve problems like this. So pause it after I read it. So let's read it together. Quinn is making fruit salad for school and cannot spend more than $20. So we have a limit right there. She can't spend more than $20. Pineapples represented, and I'm going to go ahead and underline, she cannot spend more than $20. Pineapples represented by X cost $3 each, and strawberries that are represented by Y cost $2 each. Using this inequality, 3x plus 2y needs to be less than or equal to 20. Graph to find a possible number of solutions, or graph to find a possible solution for the number of pineapples and strawberries Quinn can buy. Here's a tip that I gave you. Remember to write it in slope-intercept form. All right, so the great thing is that they gave us this inequality already, and we just need to be able to graph it, and it tells us to be able to, we have to remember to write this in slope-intercept form. All right, so what I'd ask you to do now is go ahead and pause it, and then come back to see if you have graphed it correctly. All right, our first step is to solve for y. So I've got 3x, and I'm using the slate, so my handwriting will look horrible. Is 3x plus 2y has to be less than or equal to $20. All right, what do I do first? I don't divide. Come on, Miss Colo. I subtract 3x on both sides. And I'm left with 2y is less than or equal to negative 3x plus 20. When I divide by 2 on both sides, I'm left with y is less than or equal to negative 3 halves, or negative 3 over 2x, and then plus 10. So now we have a slope, we have a y-intercept. All right, so here I can start my graph at 10. And this is not a system. I don't know if you noticed, it's not like our homework and what we did yesterday. This is not a system. So I start at 10, I go down 3 and over 2. Down 3 and over 2. I'm going down 3 and over 2. Hopefully you did the same thing because you realize that. Did I go down 3? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Because you realize that it's negative slope. All right, now I have to figure out what kind of line I'm going to draw. And in this case, I'm going to draw a solid line. So my graph looks like that. I actually wanted that to be match my points. All right. All right. My shading here is going to be shading below this area. So I'm going to shade everything below. So hopefully when you give your possible solutions, you use words. If you don't use words, then I'm not going to know exactly what you're talking about. For instance, I can see that 2, 3 as a possible solution, but if you just give me 2, 3, I'm not going to know whether or not you want this 2 to mean pineapples or strawberries. So if I'm talking about 2, 3, I know 2 is talking about my x-axis, so I would say 2 pineapples and 3 strawberries. It's a possible solution. I can also say anything that falls on this solid line would also be a solution. So 2, 7. So 2 pineapples and 7 strawberries is also a solution. All right. There we have it. All right. All right, so your homework tonight is going to be page 1920. When we come back and we're all together on Monday, we will talk about our progress check date being pushed back. I already have talked to you guys about that before with the weather, and so we will talk about that when you come back. All right, let's check your homework. Be sure to pause it as you are checking it. Be sure to pause it as you are checking it. All right, and let's look at the next page, or number 5 rather. Be sure to pause it. The one thing that I did make sure that I wrote here is the shading, whether it be below or above, because here, when you're looking at the shading, here I saw that this was above, and I need 2 lines that have shading below. And so you'll see how I indicated that. Please pause it as you're going along. All right, next, check number 6 through 8. The same thing is done there. Pause it as needed. And check numbers 9 through 13. Please pause it as it's needed.